What's going on, guys? BouseFeenux here, and today we are revisiting LawBreakers. I talked about this game earlier in the week, and if you're just tuning in and want to catch up, click the card in the top right-hand corner of the screen to see the previous video. Anyway, as most of you may or may not know, the newest in a series of beta tests for LawBreakers is currently underway at the time of this video, which is the week of June 28th. But all that aside, how's the game? Well, it's pretty fucking swell, to be honest with you, and as I said in my previous video, I had a fairly bad experience with the game when it was in alpha last year, but they have really turned it around in that amount of time. The gameplay is quick, the controls feel tight and responsive, and the game runs fantastically for me, even on the highest settings, which is something I was really worried about, and for those of you curious about my specs, I'll leave them in the description below. Moving on though, the gameplay in general is your basic shooter fare. Point the gun at the enemy and hold the trigger down until they die, but where LawBreakers feels unique is the emphasis on mobility. They really encourage you to use the whole map, and mastering the verticality options the game provides is a must if you're playing to win. To add an extra layer on top of that, each character has different options when it comes to moving about. This is not COD or Titanfall where everyone has the same mobility options like a jetpack or, whatever. For example, the Wraith has a triple jump that refreshes whenever he touches the ground and a slide dash forward. The Assassin has a dagger with a grappling hook that swings you over large distances. The Gunslinger has the blink ability, and so on. And the cool part about this is that all of these unique movement mechanics are further supported by the environment in-game. For example, in your spawn base, the gravity in the game is normal. If you jump, you come back down, but outside your base is a low gravity environment that allows you to kind of float around and works to more or less exaggerate your movements. As for the characters themselves, outside of the movement mechanics, they all feel pretty different from one another. You've got close-range combatants, a healer, some tanky characters, and hybrid-type classes that blend a few elements from the others, and each of these characters have a distinct loadout to work with. Now, I realize that is a huge generalization and doesn't impart a lot of info, but what I am planning to do is make a character profile for each role in the game to give you guys a little more depth than I could do in an overview video, so just sit tight and stay tuned for that, it's coming. When it comes to character progression though, there is an assortment of character skins, weapon skins, stickers to put on your guns, profile pictures, and more that you'd expect from a game like this. LawBreakers kind of follows the Overwatch formula of giving you what are called stash crates that contain items and you get them just for playing the game, or you can purchase the game's premium currency to get them quicker. I want to emphasize that these items are cosmetic only. They in no way affect gameplay. There's no gear or stats here. It's all just for fashion purposes. But generally, the overall gameplay is fast and frenetic. It's very twitchy. It kind of feels like a blend between the old school Quake games and some of the newer class-based shooters we've been seeing a lot lately. And I know a lot of people are going to be screaming Overwatch clone, but saying this is an Overwatch clone because it's class-based is like saying The Witcher 3 is a Dark Souls clone because it has melee combat and character progression, so take it for what you will. Anyway, let's talk about some of the positives and negatives to kind of sum things up. So for the positives, matches go pretty quickly, and it only takes about 10 to 15 minutes to play a full game of just about any mode. Some are longer than others and some are shorter, but that's about the range that they fall into. Matchmaking is super snappy, even in the closed beta with a gimped player pool, and it pretty much only took the game a few seconds to find me a game to play in, so that is a definite plus. There's a good variety of characters, with 9 roles shipping when the game releases in August, with more to come in the future, free of charge. The maps are pretty varied in their design, and they don't feel too large or small. The gunplay is tight and satisfying, and each character feels pretty rewarding to learn. The time to kill, or TTK, feels pretty balanced, with the exception of a few characters. And lastly, for the price point of $30, this is a solid multiplayer shooter. Plus, as they've said, all major content, which excludes cosmetic items but includes new maps, new game modes, and new characters, will be free in the future. This is basically what Titanfall 2 was doing, and it worked out really well for them in terms of player feedback. But, because nothing is perfect, let's talk about the negatives real quick. Firstly, the game almost moves a bit too fast, but just a tad really, and this could be due to the fact that I haven't played a game like this in a very long time, so my opinion on this is definitely subject to change. Secondly, the anti-gravity selling point of the game almost feels like a gimmick. As my buddies and I played, we really started to feel like LawBreakers would pretty much be the same game without it, and with the way some characters move around, I don't think gravity makes that much of a difference, but I don't really feel like it hurts the game. I'm just kinda in a gray area about this one. I could take the gravity or I could leave it. But thirdly, and this is probably my biggest gripe, there is a distinct lack of a meaningful tutorial. The tutorial basically consists of a bunch of YouTube videos made by the devs, and I realize the irony of me saying this, but if I'm in a game, I'd rather just look at a quick text rundown of how everything with a game mode or a character works, instead of watching a YouTube video in my game menu. Normally, I wouldn't really be bothered by this, but there's a lot of not very well explained or hidden game mechanics that are really only touched on in these videos. I just feel like this could have been implemented into the game somehow, but I mean, it is what it is. But that's really it, guys. I haven't had a whole lot of time with this game, but I have been playing it a ton, and I feel like I've gotten the gist of it enough to make this video. If you disagree with that statement, you know where the dislike button is, but overall, I feel like this is a game you should definitely have in your library if you're a fan of Titanfall 2, Overwatch, Quake, or Unreal Tournament. It's a very solid shooter that I plan on sinking a couple hundred hours into, and I'm really looking forward to making more content about it as I get more comfortable with the game. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to support it with a like, get subscribed if you're new here, and consider joining my Discord to keep the conversation going. Till next time though, I'm BouseFeenux, I'll see you at the next one, and as always, thank you so much for watching.